Hey, thanks for checking out the show. Shout out to all the wrestlers, managers and promoters in Australia. Need merch for your end of year wrestling shows? Wrestle Merch Printing's end of year deal is here. Using the best quality premium AS colour tees, all shirts are screen printed by hand using eco-friendly inks. Now, here's the deal. 30 tees, one colour artwork, $395. 30 tees, two colour artwork, $455. Or 30 tees with three colour artwork, $530. This deal is for Australian pro wrestlers, managers and promoters only, valid until the end of November. Postage charges apply for those outside of South Australia. Follow in the footsteps of TM61, Melbourne City Wrestling, Damian Slater and us here at Wrestle Radio Australia. PM the Wrestle Merch Printing Facebook page for friendly, collaborative service, and be sure to tell them you heard about this awesome end of year deal on Wrestle Radio Australia.
This is FNX.
Oh yeah! G'day, this is Big Brody Marshall.
This is Brian Alvarez.
This is Dean Brady of the Millennials.
This is the Jurassic Punk Sid Parker.
And the Psycho Cowboy, Benny Factor.
Don't worry, just panic.
Hello, doggers. This is Jay Hunter from OSW Review.
This is Matt Grim Basso.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
This is Scrap Brand Adam Pearce, and you are locked in
to Wrestle Radio Australia.
We're kind of live backstage here at Australian Wrestling All-Stars for the final episode of the Champions League season. My name is Josh Armour. Thank you for listening to Wrestle Radio Australia, whether it's on FNX.network, iTunes, Stitcher, or TuneIn Radio. And we'll get the plugs out of the way real quick. ProWrestlingTees.com/FNX Network. Please support FNX Network there. And if we sell enough shirts in a couple of months, we'll have Wrestle Radio Australia tees up there on PWT. So please do support the network and all the great shows at FNX.network. Now we're getting straight into things. We're not messing around.
We're getting into business.
Well, Giant Coyote challenged me to do the intro live as we're sitting here, so I'm like, all right, bugger it. I won't do it in post. I am here with Paul Roberts, my co-host for tonight.
As a pleasure as always, Josh.
And the Giant Coyote and Spaceman.
Hello.
The Bullet Kliq.
Hello, friends. Excuse my voice. I've had a blocked nose all night. And
get the mic in front of his face. When
that as well.
Paul, I don't know if you've used a microphone before, but this is how it works.
Have I used a microphone before?
You've got a voice for radio and you don't know how to use a microphone.
Well, this is putting me on the spot.
Growling tonight, so I apologise for my voice.
I know, right? You were like a bloody caged animal out there, and you weren't even in the cage match.
I know. I get a little excited. What can I say? I know. I love it. It's always fun.
God, you're so. For people who don't know, Giant Coyote,
overly nice.
Stop it. He is actually overly nice. As soon as he's
you're destroying everything right now.
Well, that's what we do here. We kill kayfabe here at WRA. Tyler Daniels just interfering in another podcast. As he
interferes constantly.
Mate, you say interferes. I say makes it spectacular.
The man does have a spectacular
That's
beard.
the difference.
Spectacular like the match tonight, Matt Hayter versus Tyler Daniels. Just saying.
That's Matt Hayter, if you didn't know.
Cheating. Great.
There was a lot of cheating on both parts.
No, nothing. Fantastic.
Oh my gosh. All right, Mr. Daniels. Fair enough. We're here to talk about the Bullet Kliq. You guys have been having a lot of fun the last few months with the whole Bullet Kliq thing. We've had Wayne here. We've had on WRA. We've had you as well, Giant Coyote, who I learnt my lesson. Let's just put it that way. After that chat and everything that went down, I learned a big lesson. Yes. Yep, he gave it to me.
Am I game to ask what this lesson is?
Scary on him. I screamed and yelled at you for 45 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was painful. It was fun. But
plenty of F-bombs on that one, so I got motherfucked like a beauty on that.
Yeah, not by me. I would never drop that on you. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Never.
Well, as you're saying, Josh, we're here with the Bullet Kliq, of course, Spaceman Dacey and the Giant Coyote. Probably, at the moment, one of the biggest things trying to run around in Australian wrestling. Of course, we're talking about not only just a group of guys, but a big group of guys is the Bullet Kliq. And, of course, they don't hide the fact that they're a group that mimics a group of another group.
That mimics a group that mimics a group that mimics a group.
Rip-offs of rip-offs of rip-offs.
That's right.
We've always said
It's
that.
a lot of fun. That's the whole idea, and it's fun.
that's what
It's fun
meant to be.
pissing other people off, and it's cool to see other people happy with it. And then it's a lot of fun.
And we've never said we were original. We said from day one when Wayne and I first announced this that it was gonna be fun, and we were a rip-off of a rip-off. We did. We got noticed straight away, and it's amazing when you see people's reactions to what we were doing, and it's amazing the people that actually got so butthurt in a way.
Well, because of this, we got to come to Adelaide and do these cool shows all the time. It's awesome.
Like in 6 months, we've done Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, Queensland. We've been all over the place. Brisbane, all over Brisbane. And Sydney Supernova, we were both down there for that.
Supernova's my favourite.
So it's been a lot of fun, man, and we're enjoying it.
There's Supernova coming up.
What's your favourite Supernova story or tale or match that's happened throughout the years? Was that the first one that you've done, or have you done them before? Like
I've done Supernova for like 8 years or something.
Yeah, it's my 8th year as well. I started doing them in 2008.
I nearly speared the chick from Twilight.
I took a crossbody from Spider-Man in 2009.
Sorry, I want to get back to Kristen Stewart from Twilight.
Yeah,
you nearly crossbodied. What happened?
No, I nearly speared her.
I speared.
He crossbodied Spider-Man.
I got crossbodied by Spider-Man.
I think it was one of my. I think it might have been my first Supernova.
I haven't heard this story.
I was having a match, and I think the finish was she's helping me distract whoever I'm wrestling, and and I think she got a little too close into the ring doing what she's doing with her. I'm supposed to spear this bloke, and she only by a cunt hair.
Oh, C-bombs.
We let it fly here, mate.
I ended up spearing the bloke, but I almost took her with him. And that was really cool, and then I won the match, and then she got and raised my arm, and she was pretty hot, and it was pretty cool. I didn't know who she was, but I'm like, Twilight chick, cool. And people were cheering. A lot of people were watching it. Supernovas, thousands of people there.
Yeah,
it's great.
Supernovas are always fun, and
a lot of exposure. So that was a very cool experience for my first Supernova, and I've done them ever since.
Yeah.
Got to meet DDP, the last one.
Yeah.
A bit close to that mic, Paul. But the Bullet Kliq fans want to hear Spaceman, and maybe they won't actually hear the cunnilingus motion there.
Oh, God.
All he needs to do is learn how to project the voice. That's how you do it. You see?
Use your words.
Giving me a hard time, you've just got to project the voice.
That's it.
Cunnilingus is a cool word.
It is, isn't it? It is many syllables, but it gets you thinking of things. It gets you thinking about a good time.
What I was going to say now, Spaceman, I've come across Spaceman a few times over the years, back very early PWI many moons ago for Joel Bateman. That's when I first met Spaceman many moons ago. So
Joel Bateman doesn't really wrestle much these days. He's kind of out of.
He came back PWSA just a a weeks ago and had a match for Johnny for his 15 years.
His return.
Testing. He was retired. He had bad shoulder injury.
Really bad shoulder.
He actually was just testing the waters, so I've probably blown it for him now, but he was just here testing the waters to see how he held up after that match with Johnny Raddick, of course, to help Johnny celebrate his 15 years in pro wrestling, so that was quite nice. But also, we've had Spaceman as part of Snake Pit / PWSA before the Bullet Kliq. I want to ask him, what's the big difference now with the Bullet Kliq being involved?
I think I'm just having a lot more fun and not wearing those tights that I used to wear that I didn't really like very much.
Not the Spaceman tights.
What's the deal with these tights for folks who haven't seen them, like me, or can't remember them?
I look like a Toy Story character or something. I don't know.
Are you talking about your Galaxy tights?
No, like the singlet that had like all this.
Yeah, I know.
And I was a lot smaller back then. I was a lot smaller back then, and I just.
And you had the shorty.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind the glasses too much.
The glasses were cool.
I didn't mind the glasses too much, and I don't know. Just that was a long time ago. It was 5 years ago, I think. More. I don't, 6 years ago. I think I've had a lot more matches under my belt since then.
6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, I've had a lot more matches on my belt since then. I think since then I've gone to America and done training over there, and I've come here and I've wrestled all over the place. Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland.
Where'd you train over in the States? Who were your trainers there?
I trained with Booker T School in Texas for a week or so, and then I went 4 weeks at CZW with Masada.
That would have been hectic.
Oh, it was sick.
That's awesome.
Oh, and I did a couple of days at Chikara as well.
Yeah.
While we were there. Yeah.
Because I knew you went to Booker's. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did all that. I did all that in an 8-week trip in the States, and then
cool.
finished it off with a 4-day bender in Vegas. It was sick.
Nice.
I like this here because Coyote's finding out things about you, Space. I think I could just sit out and we could have you, Giant Coyote, interviewing the Spaceman here on WRA. That sounds pretty good. I let you guys go. I'll come back in about.
He just knows about all the bad stuff I've done since I moved to the Gold Coast 3 years ago. And
it was the best decision of his life.
Yeah, I'm a lot happier and a lot more fitter and everything since I moved to the Gold Coast. Even though the wrestling scene there's non-existent, I still get to travel about, so it's fun. So I think that's made my life better, made my wrestling better.
Did you have any crazy experiences when you were in the States?
Like
training, or did you do any shows, or were you just there for training? Or
I was training. I stayed at Sammy Callahan's house and got real fucked up. It was sick.
Jesus. I've got a bit of a funny story for America trips. I went over in 2012 and I worked a little indie show for RCW in Anaheim, and the setup was literally an old shopping center that was converted into a bowling alley and an arcade and a bar.
Sounds amazing.
It was insane, and it was super redneck.
Just need strippers.
And it was myself, Nick Excel, and Minx. And I was in the main and came out, did the whole Aussie thing and, hanging shit on America. End of the show, we're about to leave the venue, and security comes up to us and goes, "Oh, are you guys the Australians?" And we're like, yeah. He's like, not sure how to tell you this, but there's a local gang waiting for you outside right now.
Way.
I swear to God, I've got people that can back this up. They're like, if they don't leave, we'll call the cops and get you guys escorted back to your hotel in LA. I'm not even kidding.
You guys are the Freebirds.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, it was Minx actually got attacked by the promoter's mum during her match. She tried to grab her leg and pull her out of the ring. It was crazy, man.
Still real to me, damn it.
Exactly right. It was crazy. They were throwing ice at us and all sorts of stuff. Crazy story. You always hear about these, like Ric Flair and people saying, people wait with shotguns and shit. But yeah, that's my.
But only in America.
America.
Yeah,
like good experiences in America. I didn't.
Another run in from Mr. Elliot Sexton.
Hello, Coyote.
Coyote.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
I forgot what it is already. Jermaine. He's gone. Hello, Miss. Hello, start again in 3, 2, 1. Hello, Coyote. Do you remember a PWA Queensland show in 2009? And Mason Childs went, "Now, can everyone line up? Because the Coyote said he was losing his weight, but he's not, so we're going to chop him." Do you remember that?
I do.
Can you tell me what you're... Because I was there, but I didn't know anyone or what was going on.
At that time, for those who don't really know, I had a lot of weight and health issues back in 2009. And I set a challenge for myself, because at that time I was about 19, 20, maybe a bit older than that. And I said to myself that my goal was to get to under 160 kilos by the end of that year. And each month I had to evaluate at the show in front of everyone. If I didn't make weight or lose weight, I was going to get punished.
So that was on you. You said that.
Yeah.
That was your
because that was my way to try and motivate myself to lose all the weight.
This is like underground Biggest Loser.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah. It was also me being young and stupid, but that was what happened. And just Mason being Mason, used to be a bit of a dick, but love Mason to death.
I thought it was all right. I have another one.
Yeah.
On that show where he had 10 interstators and didn't draw, and then he said, "No, obviously we didn't get as many people as we thought, so man. I can only pay you 40%.
Oh, really? I've never heard this part. Oh, shit. Okay.
And he was like, he said, "I'm going to be eating noodles for weeks." And Jimmy Scarlett was eating a meat pie, and he goes, "Do you want this pie?" And then throws it on the roof.
Oh, wow.
Mikey Broderick and Sean O'Shea were probably the most angry out of everyone.
Yeah.
We were just like, "Oh, we're just happy to be here, eh?"
Yeah.
And now we're like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
I'm over it. No,
that's cool.
But what a memory, eh?
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times.
I like the impression.
Great memories. Yeah.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you, Mr.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And have you seen Weekend Warriors?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
BrendanVink.com.
Yeah. Make sure you buy your copy. It's amazing.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you.
No worries,
I appreciate the support.
Yeah, of course. Always supporting. Yeah.
Who do you think you... Anyway,
Bye,
sorry
friends.
to interrupt.
Yeah. Thanks, Elliot.
I was honestly just interested in...
Yeah, no, I'll tell you more about it in a sec. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I might do this right now.
Juicy. I think Juicy's tagged in.
Can I just ask
go.
a favour? All I want is people to recognise that I get booked lots so I can stop getting booked. I just want people to be like, hey, man, you get booked lots. I'm like, yeah, I know, thanks. And then I'm like, no, I don't have to take a booking anymore. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Juicy.
Hang on, I'm going to give this to you. I'll be right back.
Incredible insight right there.
The giant coyote's taken off now.
Oh, my God.
It's all about the spaceman now.
All about the space. All about the space. Oh, man.
Ask questions or something?
Well, you've got to come up with the great things that have happened to you over this big career.
I'll throw one at you.
All right.
All right. With Queensland, so we've got your UPW, which I believe is kicking. You've got AWA. UPW is dead. Okay. You got AWA. You got Venom Pro Wrestling. Is that? Yep. Now, with, as we mentioned earlier, there's no wrestling on the Gold Coast. Now, it is more about
their hands in my pocket.
it is more about the nightlife. It is more about the nightlife up there. It is more about very much about the tourist kind of scene.
Oh, for me, I personally like to live on the Gold Coast, and I just go up to Brisbane to wrestle because it's close.
But what I'm saying is, do you think that there is room on the Gold Coast, something like an 18-plus kind of show?
Definitely do. There's a great venue, Southport Sharks. I had wrestling there before. I think it was TNT. Greg Bounds ran a show there 6, 7, 8 years ago. I had Daniel Bryan on it when he had all the internationals and stuff.
When Generico was down as well?
I think it was before that, but maybe. I met Generico in Adelaide. That was the first time I came to Adelaide.
Oh, so you were down for that one? We did the training seminar, and there was 20 people there.
Yeah. And then we went back to Sydney when I used to live there, and Generico was staying at my place. He was a really cool dude.
I was there on I think it was the first day, and because I'd just been sort of started training then, so I did the training seminar and that, and I was the guy that couldn't take a suplex. I couldn't do a suplex. I was that guy. I was shit. But that was just a disaster. Because after about an hour, Generico wasn't there, and bloody Juice, and Greg wasn't there, TNT wasn't there.
Oh, I'm getting cuddles.
And so...
See you,
I was sitting around waiting for the seminar to start, and Chris Basso was just like, all right, fuck it. Who wants to get in the ring? Let's just do some drills. Let's do some stuff.
I think I was doing drills.
Yeah, and so then he ends up taking the class, and Tama Williams was there, and I miss Tama. He's fucking awesome. He's like the nicest bloke, and he's one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in my life.
He hates wrestling now. I think he just hates it. He's so over it.
He does. I know that for a fact. Yeah,
he hates it. But
he was so friggin' talented. Oh my God.
Peace. Sorry about that, guys. So, I was just feeling...
He was in the middle of talking to me. Wait your turn.
I apologise. I'm sorry.
So there is room for wrestling on the Gold Coast.
Absolutely.
And next year, we're going to try and work towards either having some sort of training there. There's some stuff in the works.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely behind. I just need some people. I'm definitely behind getting a show and getting some good wrestlers to come to the Gold Coast, so we can just have if it's a one-off show and see how it goes or whatever. Not that I want a promotion there. I just want a show.
Yeah.
Don't need a promotion. We just need like an all-star show or whatever it'd be called.
Yeah.
Just have a certain 10 wrestlers, 12 wrestlers of who we want, and run a cool show. How hard would it be? It'd be great.
So
I'll hold it for you, John.
Thank you, friend. Appreciate it.
And especially because the Gold Coast is touristy, a lot of people around, and there's always looking for entertainment. It'd be great.
But yeah.
So that was answering his question.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I apologise.
We get sidetracked a lot here.
That's one of the biggest things that is missing in Queensland wrestling is a good facility to train.
I think wrestling on the Gold Coast would be much better than wrestling in Yatla.
Yeah.
In bumfuck Idaho.
There's a great bunch of guys up there like Alex Shepard, Lynx Lewis Jr., Renegade,
Nova.
Nova. I love Nova to death.
Nova, I love
Rip
you
as well. You know.
I know you hate wrestling me, but I want to wrestle you and just grab you.
Yeah, like there's some amazing guys there that just
And I know I put him over to death, but like you got a guy like Todd Eastman who lives up there now, who's heavily involved and who is like he's had so much experience with Riot City, and during a really successful period during Riot City Wrestling's history, that him lending the everyone's doing the goodbyes, and I'm just like, it's like, Josh, you're talking to the fucking air.
Thanks for the match.
Todd's one of the coolest guys I've met in recent times, and we always chatted and got along really well.
I know he thinks the world of you because you're a good bloke. And that's the main thing these days. If you're a top bloke,
I forgot. There is wrestling on the Gold Coast. That IPW bullshit.
Yeah, there's IPW. There is wrestling on the Gold Coast.
They're horrible.
And IPW's been running since 1998.
I don't care. They're horrible.
They're not horrible.
And they're not connected to any of like the wrestling
Don't
pages
you
on
guys work
Facebook.
for them?
No.
I've worked for them.
We're not good enough to work for them, apparently.
No, I've worked.
Oh wait, he is. I'm not apparently. It's because that Cruz dude doesn't. That's because Cruz doesn't like me.
No, Cruz doesn't. He's not
involved.
involved.
No, that's that Perth incident where he kicked me in the nuts. We wanted to have a match, and like, let's talk through the match. He's like, nah, we'll call in the ring. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah. He's got a mask on, and you can't hear anything he's saying in the ring. Not only that, 30 seconds of the match he's gassed as fuck because he was smoking before the match. He's got a mask on, he's trying to say something, I have no idea what he's talking about. Anyway, doing a horrible match, and then all of a sudden, it was a tag match, I had Percy T in my corner. All of a sudden, he just kicks me straight in the nuts like a shoot. I'm like, what the fuck? Percy's like, what the fuck? He just jumps in the ring, just shoots him, and freaking like MMA style jumps and just on top of him, saving like, looking out for me. And then ever since then, he's just gone around telling everyone I'm rubbish. I'm like, how the fuck was that my fault? And because of him, I think his brother runs IPW. That's what I heard. I was talking to him, so they'll never book me because of that. Something that happened in like 2010.
Well, they're now trading a lot of talent with AWA in Brisbane.
Have you like
Jamie Loxford's?
I don't think there's anyone on that roster that looks like a wrestler.
BJ Blade.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's a big. Oh, he's getting fired up. Look out. But no, that is such a big a topic these days, especially in the indies, is that, you got guys that, and we had Vinny Vane on the show last week who, like he's a smaller guy and he's learning his craft and whatnot and he's getting there. But, there's a difference between being small and, actually I was talking to Rocky Monero about this earlier.
You can look like you're a wrestler still.
Yeah, it's about projecting an attitude, projecting some kind of, I'm a wrestler, basically, as opposed to I'm a kid playing wrestler. There's a big difference there.
The thing I've found personally for me, like obviously my height has always been a big factor for me, but I've never, personally, not until recent times, felt that I looked like a wrestler. Like, I've always had a lot of weight issues, but I've taken my negatives and tried to use them in positives. So like overemphasizing my character work, snarling, growling, doing whatever I can to better myself. I understand the whole concept of people don't look like wrestlers, but they can in a way if they change, I guess, taking the negative and turning it into a positive. Yes, hit the gym, do whatever you got to do to keep healthy and try to improve your body. Like, Steven.
See you, Brad. I'm going to put him over on the air. Brad here at AWA has been an absolute gem backstage and helping out doing. Okay, we'll see you back. We'll see you
November
at Wrestle Rampage. I'm sure I'll be there recording a podcast. I'll catch you around.
Massive. November 15th is our next show.
It sounds like okay. November it is. Yeah.
I apologize, but yeah, like I've like as I said for myself, a big thing that made me change my outlook on my health and fitness was breaking my ankle in 2013.
I was actually going to ask you about that one, how much that changed everything.
It changed everything for me, because that year I broke my ankle on my 25th birthday. I broke it in Perth. Spent a week in Perth hospital waiting for surgery. Yeah, I spent a week waiting, because I broke my tibia and my fibula, and it was a compound dislocation, a dislocation into a fracture, and then it was 2 clean snaps. Like, I can even show the x-rays from the night it happened. And then I also had a really nasty thing growing on my eyebrow at the time, and I went and got that looked at and had to go do it privately and found out that it was a cancerous tumor. So I broke my ankle, got told I had a form of cancer, rare form of cancer, had that cut out of my face. So I had all this shit happen in the space of, 6 months. And then, after getting the all clear to come back to wrestling, in 2013, because I was out for 6 months, probably came back a little bit too early, and then got invited to the tryouts, that were held in 2014 in Melbourne. I had only been cleared 8 weeks prior to the tryouts. So I was training my ass off because obviously I'm not going to miss that opportunity.
Now, that experience, talk us through that, because you've had folks on the show that have explained the WWE tryout and the process and all that sort of jazz, but as a guy your size, right, and your look, now, a lot of the guys that were at those tryouts and girls, I mean, the girls look like sports models, even though they're wrestlers, they look so fit, and then you got the guys like Custom and Marcus Peter, you're just like, for fuck's sake, you fucking abs, like, go away. So how do you take that experience on, and then what do you think was the perception of for instance, the people doing the hiring and firing, basically?
Okay, so I've been incredibly fortunate to have 2 tryouts. I had one in 2012, and then I was invited to the ones in 2014. The one that I had in 2012 was, I thought it was someone pulling a rib. Literally thought it was a rib. Like, someone sent me this email, and I rang them. I had one of my friends ring him and go, "Oh, hi, I'm ringing on behalf of Coyote. Just want to get some details and find out if this is real." And before that, I actually got an email going, "Hey, to say this, is this a prank?" And all I got back was, "Yes, this is real. Call this number." I'm like, "Yeah, right." So called it. Anyway, flew down to Sydney about 2 months later. And the difference with that tryout and the one in 2014 was all I did was a 6-minute match. Now, the 2014 ones was a 2-day tryout, which was drills, fundamentals, promos, and I personally describe it as death by cardio. It was ridiculous, man. And I dropped 20 odd kilos in the space of 8 weeks to get as best as I could, because I knew this is my second chance. I've just come back from a major injury. I've got to do what I can do.
It's now or never.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a Wrestle Class show here. I think it was a couple of days after that whole tryout thing, and there were guys that were just like fucked. Like they were still dead, and they had to wrestle that night. Like.
I tried not to go into too much details about what actually happened there, because it's just sort of it is what it is. But all right, so for example, there was 3 officials there. One of them being Bill DeMont at the time, who was head NXT trainer.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And that's why I said, And, for example, one of the drills we had to do was run from the bottom of the Acer Arena to the top floor of the second floor and across. Now, at that time, I'm about 178 kilos, just with a mass ankle injury, and I'm trying to run upstairs. Like, my ankle just gave out. What I took away from that experience, because I ended up pulling out because I just couldn't do it, I explained everything, because I was honest with him, like, because I had doctor checks and everything. I was like, "Hey, I've just had my ankle broken, blah, blah, blah. This is what's going on," because I've got plates and screws in my ankle now. Once I pulled out, Bill's like, "You are fucking crazy, and you have my respect." I was like, "Sick. I can take that away."
At least that was something.
That's exactly it. And I can go, yes, my ankle broke. I was still in a bad way, but at least I did it. I gave
the respect from.
And that was a big thing for me too, because all the guys and girls that were there saw me trying. Like there was a part where I was literally dying from the cardio, and the guys and girls were chanting and cheering me on. And I tried my best to get everything finished. So that was a big thing for me. As for the ankle now, obviously, I announced that video in May where I said, I was going to stop wrestling in 2017. That is still going to happen. But in the last, what you reckon, space, 3-4 months, everything's changed with the ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started seeing a chiropractor, I've seen specialists, I've lost more weight, and the ankle is the best. For example, I know people can't see this, obviously, but I can rotate my ankle now.
Yeah, I seen your post. You were so excited the first time you could do it.
Yeah, in 3 years. And I don't limp as much anymore. I'm not in pain, but I still need to take that time, because I've been doing this for 12 years now. I started when I was 15.
The body is...
Exactly.
It's taken a beating.
I'm not the shortest guy in the world either, so that also comes into effect. But, with wrestling, obviously people retire and then come back. Like, I personally haven't, I think I've only ever used the word retirement once, and that's when we did that last sort of, and I, tried to put a spin on it and said, am I going to retire? Well, yeah, I am. I'll go on record now.
But it might not be.
But exactly. It's, I don't want to use the word, see, I've just, contradicting myself, but I don't want to use the word retirement, but because everything has changed now, I've had specialists go, the ankle is improving.
Is it because you think you're doing more on it? Like that kind of helps?
And I'm getting that extra treatment. Like I started seeing a chiropractor 8 weeks ago, and it was amazing. I was doing double sessions a week, and like he did all these X-rays and everything, and he was like, "Your ankle's a mess." He also checked out my spine and my neck, and I didn't realize how much your spine plays into everything.
Everything connects
like your nerves.
the whole. Yeah.
So, like for example, about our 3rd or 4th session, he's working on my ankle, and he's like, "All right, you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." Bang, pops. And it was like, I felt like a shot of electricity go up my leg, up my spine, into my neck, and then all the way back down. And first time in like years, I felt that nerve receptors all light up. And now he's able to I'm able to move my ankle around 360 degrees. But I'm also the type of guy that will always be honest and keep his word, because I've had people go, "We're terrified about your ankle. It scares us when you wrestle." But this was all before all this had changed. So obviously, and like, I never knew about the Kliq. When I made the announcement that I was going to hang him up at the end of the year, the Kliq wasn't a thing. So people are like, it's all a ploy, blah, blah, blah. No, it really, really wasn't. Like, the Kliq all started as a joke when we were at Maniac's place one night watching, was it Rumble or Extreme Rules? Yeah, and we were waiting we thought, the Bullet Club was gonna debut, sorry. And that's how.
Don't worry, I did it at one show.
Sorry, yeah. And that's how we were making a joke, and then us and a group of friends became the Bullet Kliq Originals, because we were making terrible jokes. And then I announced posted that video online saying, "Look, I'm done in 2017." Because at that point I had doctors going, "You need to stop wrestling, shit's getting bad, you may lose your foot." But everything's changed so much in the last 6 months, and it's crazy. But I don't want to be one of those guys that's announced something and then go, nah, swerve. But, because I think
that'd be true Bullet Kliq fashion, though, wouldn't it? To kind of
yeah, it would.
Swerve all you motherfuckers. But yeah, on a serious note.
I'm not that sort of guy, I've always been respectful, and I've always tried to be as honest and professional as I can be. And that's one thing that I've really love is people go, "Oh, Coyote's one of the most respected guys in Australian wrestling," because I'm always polite, friendly, and trying and willing to help people. But that does sometimes get taken advantage of. That's just because I'm too bloody nice for my own good.
We've all been there at some stage. If we haven't got the if you don't have that kind of not bully mentality, but like that real alpha kind of mentality backstage and in life, that can happen. Because I've been that kind of person all my life, you know what I mean? Where you just kind of, you just take things on as they are, and you're not out to do anybody over, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about enjoying what you're bloody doing, and hopefully you make some good friendships along the way, know?
Absolutely. Some of my best friends I've met through wrestling, and I've been so fortunate to travel around the world and wrestle. I've wrestled in every state in Australia now, well, except for Tasmania. Hopefully get there before the end of the year. But
come on, Lee, book the man.
Book me too. But I'm so fortunate to be on these shows. Like, if you said to me, a year ago, you're going to be in part of this All-Star shows with guys like Rocky, Jag, Sexton, Jonah, everyone,
Juicy,
everyone, exactly. I'd be like, no fucking way, because I've always been very harsh on myself, because I felt that I didn't deserve to be in that spot. Right. I always felt I was the guy that helped people get to that sort of level. And a big thing for me was all the shit that happened in Queensland wrestling in 2010, 2011.
Yes.
And I packed my bags and moved to Perth. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. I'm going to Perth.
Because that was at that point where it almost seemed like every company was either fracturing or warring with, like there'd be talent warring with the managers, or there'd be talent arguing in between each other, and it's like, I'm not going to fucking do the job, or this or that kind of stuff. I don't know the full story, but I know it was that kind of vibe where it's uncomfortable. Maybe it was better that everybody just split ways and do their own thing,
The thing with, a lot of people don't know about this, so obviously everyone's heard of PWA Queensland.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, so
not for good reasons.
No, but the original PWA Queensland, which was 2007, where we had the first Rise of the Warriors tournament with Chris Hero and all the interstate guys. Okay, PWA Queensland was created by me and Mason Childs.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so not many people know that. And the fact is, Mason and I broke away from MIW, which became IPW, Australia, on the Gold Coast. And we took the 5 top rookies at the time, which was AJ Istria, Mark Davis, Cam Tino, Ash Riot, and I believe... Oh, God, I've gone blank.
Esteban? No, he's not rookie.
No, Esteban came later. Oh. Me. Hang on. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Just quietly, Davis has had a real career, like sort of renaissance, like a real lately in the last few months at MCW. Davis is really he's been doing some cool stuff over there. But anyway,
well, Davis and I went to high school together, and this is my favorite Davis story. And I love Davis so much, and he's Davis was really funny. I was wrestling through high school, so I was 15 when I started wrestling, and I won my first title in 2005, singles title. And then I was in year 11, and Davis came up to me and he's like, "Oh, hey, do you know about Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi?" And I was like, "Wow, hold on, what? Like
who would know about that? There's a select few of people in Australia."
Yeah, exactly. Who knows about indie wrestling? Like, especially that sort of match. And it just blew my mind. And that's how Davis and I started getting involved. Like, I was already wrestling, and that's how Davis and I became friends. And, Davis is one of those guys that I love so much, and see how well he's doing in wrestling. It makes me smile so much. So, yeah. But, that was like one of those days where, you're like, holy shit, people also know about indie wrestling. But it was one of those moments where, okay, because of wrestling, that helped our friendship grow, like, it was awesome. So, yeah.
So PWA Queensland, we were on that.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, so we broke away from MIW. We started up PWA Queensland. So we had a training centre up on the north side of Brisbane. It was run at a martial arts dojo. So we were training there on the weekend. Training was run by, fitness training, I should say, was run by Istria. And then...
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, fucking A. Like, Istria is phenomenal, and because of his background with sports and everything like that, it was awesome. So Mason and I planned Rise of the Warriors, where we were going to have 2 people from from each state be represented in the tournament. So it was me and Mason for Queensland, Ryan Eagles, Blake Stone, Mad Dog, Damien Slater, just to name a few people. We're all on, and Chris Hero was our international guest.
That's a bloody good card.
Yeah, and like Mace gave me the chance to wrestle Hero in the main event in my hometown. I'm not even 19 years old at this point, and I'm wrestling Chris Hero in our first major show. And then Mace and I ran the company.
Was that the time he got picked up on Border Patrol?
No, that was the second time. Yeah, no, it may even been his third time. So yeah, that was bad. Hilarious, but we still think the reason he got picked up is because he had the PWG belt with him at the time. But yeah, like, so everything happened with PWA Queensland. We were drawing big. We had all these amazing shows. We had all this amazing talent, and then things happened, and obviously stuff just changed. Like, I'm not going to go out and publicly air it all. It's not my place to. But shit happened, and we all went our own ways. But that was also a big changing point for me, was going and moving to Perth and working in Schwa.
Sounds like South Australian wrestling to me.
Well, especially a while ago.
Back many moons ago.
Many, yes.
Yeah. So, like, the big changes for me was moving to Perth and being able to train with Schwa and EPW and learn from guys like Davis Storm, Jared Slate, Shane, Mikey, everyone. I don't want to sound like I'm name dropping, because I'm not, but these people all helped me improve and get to that next step. So, yeah. And then, of course, breaking the ankle and everything else helped me to keep changing and evolving, So, and like, I owe Space heaps, honestly. Like,
what did I do?
What have you done, dude? You have seriously helped me out so much in the past 2 years with my wrestling, my psychology, everything. And like, you and I, when we're tagged, we just click. No pun intended.
Oh, no pun intended. The bullet click.
Yeah, but like,
see what I did there?
Cheesy. I don't mean to be cheesy, but this is, like you said, not many people know the real me, and this is who I am. I will be straight up and honest. I'll give people the shirt off my back if I have to. But like, I'm thankful for everyone that I've encountered and been involved with and been able to have these chances to do what I do and what I love.
One thing I really love about you guys as a team out there, and I probably called it during a match at some point, is that, like, it's actually I mentioned it on the bloody podcast when you called in. It's such a perfect complement to each other, as far as you're the big bastard out there who, if you don't go out there, if you don't bump, that's fine with me because you're a big bastard. But he's the guy out here that can do. Yes, yeah, exactly right. You're the guy that can go out there and go hell for leather as in the speed department, in those bloody running clotheslines and everything. I love that contrast, and that's one thing like your teams like your Heart Foundations and shit like that got so over because they seemed to work so well and just gel. They had the different elements that they brought to it, and that's why I really dig watching you guys as a team, because it makes sense that you guys would actually team. Some people might think it's weird. I think it makes perfect sense.
Well, like Space and I had never ever tagged prior to doing this whole storyline, you know, being part of the Kliq. I don't think we ever
was Adelaide our first one?
Yeah, no, Supernova in Sydney.
Oh,
that was that was our first
fun.
weekend working together. So
it worked really well.
You know, and each time we wrestle, it's improving even more because Space gives me the feedback I need to improve things. Like I have a habit
on the apron.
Yeah, like he does. He really does, because you're always improving in wrestling. You're always learning. You're always training. You're always going to keep improving.
And if you're not doing that, get out of the business.
Well, yeah, the whole concept of I don't have to train is fucked. Straight up. Like, it's been the biggest thing lately. Like, even today on the internet, it all blew up about training and everything. Okay. You never, ever, ever stop learning in this industry. You do not.
In life.
Yeah, exactly. Life, everything.
I'll give you an example down at Riot City Wrestling, right? Matt Basso, been there since day one. Yeah. He's the first person in the weight room. Yeah, every fucking time. He's the first person who wanted to go in there and do stuff because I want to be better.
Yeah, like, I was so happy when I got to wrestle Matt a couple of years ago in NHP Dub. Like, it was so much fun.
Was that when you guys had, like, Colt and that over, or was that a different show?
I think he was on one of the shows that we were on together.
That was a different show, because I was there with Colt.
Yeah, it was when we did the whole State Wars storyline, so he was, like, the captain of Team Adelaide, and I was the captain of Team Queensland. But yeah, like, going back to training, there's always ways to learn and evolve. There's so many great people out there to learn from. If there's not a training center near you, there's nothing stopping you going down for a weekend or something to go train with other people. You know, you've got the Rampage Dojo, you've got Carlo's School in Melbourne, you've got the Wrestle Factory in Perth. Like,
you don't have to that's the thing these days, to get good quality world class training. You don't have to wait for that every 6 months when an ex-WWE guy does a seminar. You don't have to, because there's people in Australia that have been taught by people like that or as good to get them to the next, you know what I mean? Like, it's
like, I'm not saying obviously pack your bags and relocate. People just can't do that. Like, I did that because it's what I needed. I had a lot of other shit going on. I was like, I'm going to Perth. That was a huge thing for me. But like you said, you can talk to people. We're all on social media. We're all on Facebook. Send someone's video footage if you want feedback. No one will ever tell you to fuck off. If they do, whatever. That's probably had a bad day or something, you know. But that's a big thing. Like, if people ask for help, help them.
I know Muhammad Ali Vaez, host of Healing Out here at Wrestle Radio Australia, he's always keen to, like, if you wanted to send your match, say, hey man, I know you've had experience about the place, what do you think? He's the kind of guy that's like, great, I get to teach, you know.
And that was one of my favorite things doing, was when we had the PWA Queensland school, was I got to teach. I love training people. Because I had such a hard time learning everything because of my height and my, you know, not everyone can pick it up as easy as the next person, you know. Some people are just natural born athletes and pick it up like that. For example, it took me months to learn how to back bump. I could front bump, no problem. Back bumps, fuck, no. It was horrible.
I could do back rolls, but I couldn't do forward rolls.
Like, same. Like, it wasn't until I moved to Perth that I could do a perfect back roll. And it was just changing techniques. Like, you know, you're always learning and improving. Like, you know, there's nothing stopping people from getting quality training, for example, like I personally feel my promo work is never very good, but I've been fortunate enough to speak to guys like Mark Williamson and Tyson Gibbs. Like, they have helped me in the past to improve my promo work.
And I was talking to Tyson on here a couple of weeks ago, and as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the best damn promos, mic guys, best presences on a camera that I've seen in this country. He doesn't. He's one of those guys that I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I compared him to Brad Smythe, who's really, really one of the smaller guys down here in Adelaide, but he is such a great wrestler, a great worker. He knows how to get the crowd involved. Every time he's out there, people are invested. And he reminds me so much of him in that we know about him here in Adelaide, and Riot City wrestling fans, we all know about him, but nobody interstate knows who Brad Smythe is. And I'm like, oh, if only you could just see one match.
So we have the same with Johnny Raddick.
Yeah. I love Johnny.
Exactly. Now, that guy, you pick up a microphone and did it during the show tonight, during the match. Like, who else does these sort of in-ring promo things during a match?
Yeah. Like, you know, some of the best promos are the ones done on the fly, because you feel what's going on inside and you go for that. You know, Space has done that recently. We were doing promos at Supernova in Sydney, and they're like, do a promo. You'd be like, all right, let's go. And like, you know, that's the thing. You're always improving mic work, everything. You know, it's a big thing.
Promos in the ring than backstage.
Yeah, like everyone has a different whatever they feel better with. Some people react better to live crowds. You know, everyone's different, and that's what is also a huge thing for Australian wrestling, is because there is so many wrestlers, workers, whatever terminology you want to use, but they're all unique in their own way. Really, they are. Like, there's perfect example was the show tonight. Everyone on the card has something that they bring to the show. Like, there's not just like one massive dude or, you know, the model looking type guy. Everyone has a character, has a gimmick, and, you know, uses their character so well, you know, and that's what is a really big thing with wrestling is, yes, it is entertainment. We're here to entertain. We're here to put on a show. And like, I've always used the term that we're illusionists of pain, because obviously what we do hurts, but we're there to put on a show. And if you have that special it factor, whatever you want to call it, that will help you in wrestling. You know, I'm trying to be as honest as I can here.
I remember when Bill DeMott was down and they did the Wrestle Rampage, they had the special sort of tryout show, I guess. It was put on a show, let's see what you can do. And it was, I think, the week after the tryouts that you were at. And Bill DeMott, I overheard him talking to Mr. Juicy out the back, basically saying that, like, you're different. That's what we're after is different. Now, sometimes you watch telly and you think, well, are you really after different? But then you see guys like the Authors of Pain that come in, the big bastards, and you're like, right, they are after something different, because that's what you got with these guys. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, WWE is everywhere, and they're watching everything. People think, no, they're not. There's no way that they're gonna look into indie wrestling or anything like that. All right, some of the biggest stars in their company right now are all former indie superstars.
And look at how many Australians are starting to head
exactly
into.
Right. There's so many people being involved, being picked up, and it just helps everything grow. So, yeah.
We're almost going to get kicked out here very soon. So. But are they locking the place up, Steve, or
are they kicking us out, Steve?
What? What's up? What happened?
What's gone?
This is on a podcast. We got proof now. Somebody done been robbed up in this bitch, yo. Oh, the pant. It was
I remember when he went past and you was going, oh, someone's put it.
Aha. Bit more out of the space before we.
No,
not at all. We don't want to hear about your long storied career and issues. We don't want to hear about that at all.
Well, I might actually jet, because I've got some wonderful family members here that have kindly waited for me all night, because I've flown into town. So my girlfriend's cousin and her wonderful husband are hanging out here. So Yeah, so I might.
Thanks for being patient with us.
Who are these two people that I don't know from wrestling that are sitting out back?
Okay.
Hi.
So, I will love yous and leave yous and
get some plugs out.
Oh, so what have we got?
Kliq on Facebook.
Yeah, we got the Bullet Kliq page on Facebook, Instagram. We've got our personal pages, Giant Coyote, Spaceman
Dacey
on Facebook, Maniac. We've got Venom Pro Wrestling coming up on the 28th of November. Yeah. Well,
Maniac's taking my place.
Then I'm down.
Fuck wrestling, I'm going to concert.
And then I'm down at AWF on the 29th for their Halloween show.
That will be fun.
We've got Supernova
That's what I'm looking for
in November as well.
Brisbane, November.
I've got a few other things in the works, but we're waiting on details on it. Have you got any other Blue Mountains or anything? Have you got anything
I have
coming
no
up?
idea. I'm very unorganised.
But
when Marek has a show coming up, I'm sure he'll let us know.
Yeah, definitely. We'll let you guys know. And honestly, Josh, big thank you to everything that you do with Wrestle Radio, man. It's been a massive year for yourself. You've been doing amazing.
It really has been pretty cool what we've been able to
do. And you guys need to be proud of that. You keep Australian wrestling in, up to date, and everyone knows what's going on, and you give the fans a chance to hear us, each week and find something else out.
This is why you do the promos. You talk a lot.
Yeah, well, I do.
I have that problem as well.
If he's complimenting me, I'll take that. Jeez, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for the chance to chat, and I hope we can do it again sometime, talk a bit more, so it'd be awesome. But, alright, I'm going to love yous and leave yous.
Peace out, man.
Thank you, guys.
We got to get a photo here before you leave, because otherwise I'm gonna regret it. This is making for
Do you want me to get the selfie stick out?
This is making for great podcasting here, folks. There's one for the Facebook page.
All right.
Beauty. All right.
Awesome. All right, I'm out. Have fun.
Catch you later.
All right, the big
See
man's
you, Coyote.
Fantastic work.
And now, Spaceman.
Woo! You did amazing.
Now it's down to Paul and the Spaceman. See you, Coyote.
See you, Hollywoods.
Yes.
See you, Hollywoods.
Yes.
Yes, fantastic.
Hollywood Showgirls. That's right. We've got to give them a plug.
There we go. Maniac, Coyote, and the Spaceman all worked at Hollywood Showgirls at the same time in 2013.
No way.
Yes.
The Kliq were in action before.
I bet.
We've been in action before.
Some kind of action, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Definitely.
So tell us the Gold Coast. English,
please.
People who don't live on the Gold Coast or haven't been there, or for our friends overseas who do listen to Wrestle Radio Australia, then they wish they live on the Gold Coast. Exactly right. The home of
loves the Gold Coast.
The current home, I believe, of Mr. Warwick Kappa. Look him up, folks.
He was in the cast the other day, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like AFL though. So.
He's a good black man. He's alright. He's got tight shorts. He's good.
He looks like a bit of a weirdo.
He's a bit of a wanker, but he's good.
Doesn't he hold road signs these days or something?
He was a meter maid for a while.
Or was it?
He had little gold shorts. Yeah.
It's horrible.
I know. Describe the Gold Coast for people who are not familiar.
It's like, I don't know, it's not as busy as a city, but it's more busy than a country town. So it's like living in a main city, but it's a lot more chilled out, and the weather's just awesome all the time, and put you in a good mood all the time, and you can go out and party any night of the week. It's great.
Good looking women about the place.
Yeah. So even ugly women are good, so it's good.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I've been there 3 years now, so yes. I live in New SeaWorld, it's pretty close.
But we haven't heard the background of you wanted to go and become a professional wrestler.
Oh, when I was probably like 4 or 5 or something like that, I was watching the old VHSs, the WWF ones, watching the Hulk Hogan. Loved it. I was like, oh, I want to do that. Sweet. And
Super tape.
Yeah, but I didn't have any Foxtel or anything. I finally got Foxtel when I was like 12 or something, and then I was watching. I got Optus. I didn't get Foxtel, so we got WCW, and I thought it was the same thing because all I saw was Hulk Hogan, Macho Man.
Right, yep.
All the same guys were on that, so I just assumed it was the same thing. And it took me a while to realize it was different, and then at that age, I was like watching Goldberg and stuff, and I thought that was sick. And then when I finally got Foxtel, that was when WCW got bought out, so I started watching WWF in like 2001, and then I think I started liking Triple H and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm still watching it. And I'd already decided I wanted to become one, so become a wrestler, or try to. So I think.
But how'd you come across the indie local stuff?
When I first turned 18, I was like going out, and I went out of the cross. I went to like a metal club, and I ran into Kieran Burns, And he was telling me about the AWF and stuff, and then I think I got a flyer. I went to a WWC and got a flyer, and I rang up Greg, and I was like, oh, I want to come wrestle. And then I rocked up in 2006, and then, yeah, I went every week. And that was it.
That's it?
Although I failed like 3 times, it was very embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah, everyone thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, and I think it was like, guy's name, JT Robinson, Il Cognito. They're like, oh, no, he can. I took private lessons with them, and then they went to Greg and said, no, he's ready for a show now. So I never actually passed the course. I just went onto a show because they said I was ready, and then that was in 2007.
What was it that was keeping you back? Was it coordination, or was it
horribly uncoordinated?
Right.
Yeah, pretty useless. And then I think then I had my debut show was match was in like a dojo, which is like where we train. And then my first real show, I wrestled Jason Helton.
Oh, wow.
And and they're all coming up. He's like, oh, he's wrestled The Undertaker, this and this. And they were trying to like make me like shit my pants. So I was like, oh, okay. And then it's like one of the best matches I've had. It was like the first match I've ever had.
Did he do some enhancement work in WWF?
Yeah, he did wrestle The Undertaker. He got put in a body bag, and apparently he was in ECW and he wrestled Taz or something. He's been all over. He used to live in Canada and now he was here. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
He still tries to hassle me on Facebook. He reckons he could take me still. I was like, no, I'm a lot bigger now.
Helton's a very,
it's a weird sense of humour.
Well, yeah, people either fucking love him and reckon he's great value, or they think he's a wanker. Now, I've never met the bloke. I don't really know a lot about him.
I haven't seen him since our match, but like we talk on Facebook all the time for like the last, 9 years, but we've kept in touch on Facebook for 9 years. I haven't even seen him since then, but we're still talking Facebook all the time. So,
yep.
Good bloke. Should be. Yeah, it's all right.
He's had heart experience.
Yes.
The old Helton.
Yeah. Well, it was a good first experience. Having a first match with someone with a lot of experience was great. So
with the Spaceman name, the idea for
in that match I had with him, I was a no name, and I had some tights that had like a spade skull on it, like it was an ace of spades sort of thing, but with a skull on it.
Right.
And what was it? Dave Carnival, Concrete Davidson. He was ring announcing and didn't have a name for me, so he made up this name. Because I look like Keanu Reeves, he called me Neo. That was my nickname when I was a rookie, so he's called me Neo, Spade Skull.
Jeez, you do look like Keanu.
You should have seen me with the hair before.
I know, you used to have the hair.
He called me, it was Neo, Spade Skull Calhoun or some bullshit that he made up. And then my mate in the crowds misheard and heard Space Boy, and he got the whole crowd chanting Space Boy the entire match, the entire show. And I've gone backstage and all the boys like, you're never losing that name ever. And then just before I moved to the Gold Coast, like a year before, I was wrestling in Brisbane, flying up to Brisbane and wrestling there, and I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm changing it to Spaceman. And then when I finally did move to Queensland, I officially just changed it to Spaceman, and I've kept it to that. Oh, Zach, when I was in the States with Sammy Callahan, he's like, Spaceboy shit, you're gonna be the Spaceman, and he got on my Twitter and changed my name. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm Spaceman, so I stuck to it. And then when I moved to Queensland, I just like, no one knew I was like Spaceboy or whatever, so I just stuck to Spaceman.
So it's the one time that somebody hacks your social media and you're like, fuck, thanks for that.
Yeah.
That actually helped me out.
Pretty much.
Instead of saying, I like Dick, you've gone, hey, here's a new cooler name.
He changed my Twitter handle to Spaceman. I was like, oh, sweet. Helpful. And all the boys at work call me Spaceman now too, so I was like, no one ever calls me Jason, no one calls me Spaceman.
Yeah.
All the boys in Sydney still call me Spaceboy though, so.
Half the time I fucking forget that your name's Jason. Seriously, I do. I just like, I know it's Space.
Space.
Yeah,
Space is another name. It's good. I don't mind. It's great.
It's better than, hey, dickhead. Yeah. Isn't that the first insult sort of day that comes? Hey,
I always think if they're at least calling you a name, especially your gimmick name, you're not doing too bad.
That's right.
When you get called, hey you,
you want them to remember you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a coyote. Oh, a big guy. That's Giant Coyote.
Exactly.
So from then, from coming up with the Spaceman idea, what, did you sort of have that thing in your mind of when you started wrestling of because everybody does. I mean, even I did when I was a trainee, I'm going to be Bret Hart and I'm going to have the sharpshooter. Did you have those ideas of what you wanted to do, and then after you learnt a bit, did that sort of change?
I really didn't want to. I didn't want a character. I guess I kind of just wanted to be me and just have fun. And
just be a wrestler.
I just wanted to go around and throw people around, spear people. That was it. And
I love the spear. It's so good.
Yeah.
Man, it looks good.
It's fun.
Oh, it looks so
It's
good.
called the Space Spear now.
A space spear. There we go. That's right. That's what I need more to play on my lisp. I need.
My last show in Queensland, I got the Better Than Roman chant, so that was cool.
Is that like a backhanded? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Better than Roman, like. Oh,
it's not hard, but at least it's better than Roman spear.
Well, look, in the ring, I must say, in the ring, Roman Reigns is pretty damn good.
Oh
but
yeah.
Just
I like
try
his
and
aggression.
just cut a damn promo that I can actually believe.
Believe that.
That's fucking. That makes sense now. That is why they came up with the whole believe that, because
believe me, damn it.
It's Vince going like, God damn, they're not going to believe in anything he says, so we got to say believe that. If you say believe that, they will believe you.
Talking to Vince. Sweet.
The only thing I do, you're fired.
Oh, I'm already fired.
Patterson, get in here. Now get the fuck out of my office. You're fired. Yeah. That idea of like, you just want to, so your style, as far as like your style of who the spaceman is in the ring, hasn't really like changed sort of much, or is there?
Well, I got bigger and stronger, so I just got more aggressive and more more powerful. I'm not that technical or anything. I just like throwing people around and having fun.
Because you're a good size. Like you're not massive, but you go in there and you look like a wrestler.
That's good. That's a start.
It's so important, is that you look like you're a bloody pro wrestler. You know what I mean?
You're only saying I'm not massive because I hang around Maniac and Josh all the time.
Pretty much. That's just by circumstance.
That's the thing, though. And I think I brought it up even in commentary tonight. And the thing, you may say, a lot of people would look at Spaceman and say he's not that big. But really,
in context,
when you're standing, of course, next to Big Coyote and you're standing next to Maniac, no one's going to look exactly big.
That's
but
right.
Spaceman himself is a big unit without being next to the Bullet Kliq as such. They
shrunk me.
They shrunk him. He's always big guy and always has been and obviously whacked the muscles on just recently, working hard with the Maniac, and of course only makes him look bigger. But yeah, when you're in such a big group like the Bullet Kliq, I guess it makes it hard to be that big guy.
I know, like, tagging with Josh is the first time I've been the small guy. Like you're saying, you like that I'm like the faster. I'm usually the slow guy, and the doing all the. I'm not doing much, and now that I'm tagging with him, I have to do everything.
Well, that's what I meant before. It goes back to that of the contrast. You know what I mean? It's just a perfect sort of mix. So that's why. That's why
we both can do the sort of power game and stuff, but then he makes me look fast, so it's good.
Yep. Nah, good times. And I wanted to know some cool fan interactions that you've had in the past that have that might amuse folks. I'm sure you guys, the Bullet Kliq, you've had. I mean, like Josh, Giant Coyote, shared his experience of, hey, you might get knifed by a gang in America.
I've never had any negative experience with our fans, really. It must just be him.
That's good.
Yeah, I had like a lot of kids and stuff drawing me pictures and taking photos and wanted autographs and all that sort of stuff.
Well, that's one thing tonight I noticed out there is that you guys are, and every time here at AWA, you guys are big on the hustle. You guys are big on getting out there after the show, seeing the fans, signing autographs, taking photos, getting the Bullet Kliq name out there.
Got to.
You know,
that's the whole point.
Well, exactly right. But it's amazing how many folks there are that would take that for granted, as in they may not have merchandise to sell, but at least if you're a babyface, you get out there, or if you're one of the fan favourites or a big name, you get out there.
Super popular, everyone's going to want to book you.
Yeah. I mean, even Elliot Sexton was out there tonight going, well, fuck, I'm going to try and sell some DVDs.
He's hilarious.
Isn't he great?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I only met him, the last show I was here, that was the first time I met him.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to get to Melbourne more.
I think Melbourne would love the Bullet Kliq, just quietly. It ruffles some feathers in more ways than one, but I reckon it'd be good.
I think Maniac's been down and Josh went down with him once, but we're working on getting all of us down there at once and having a good time.
Cool.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Look out, Victoria.
Yes. Looking forward to it. A lot of good people to work in Melbourne as well.
Oh, isn't there?
Yes.
God.
Adelaide as well. That's why I like coming. So it's a nice, refreshing change coming to Melbourne and Adelaide compared to Queensland. So, yes.
Bit of sanity down here, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Makes sense again.
I know, right? We try down here in the dirty south. We try. Dirty south.
Great production on the show tonight too. It's fantastic. I felt like I was on a wrestling show.
It was really good tonight. It was so the crew here has been fantastic. That's one thing that I can take away from these AWA shows is that like everyone's just been it's all been about the show. Everyone's been all about just the show, putting on a show. You know, it's really
I think we've certainly we've lived up to the Australian Wrestling All Stars.
The moniker, yeah.
We got all the wrestlers from all over Australia, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've missed anyone. Yeah. Over like all the shows that they've done, they've pretty covered all the states.
Yep.
We got a mix of everyone, so it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's exposing all the wrestlers that are around Australia to everyone on the national scale.
Yep.
And it's good exposure for me, so I like it.
Hey, get some spaceman out there.
Yeah.
Gives Wrestle Radio Australia a chance to
all
talk.
we need now is the 6 series DVDs to come out.
Yes, that's right.
I love watching myself.
Promoter Steve, Cabana Productions, you know what to do.
Fantastic.
We'll be spruiking those on the show as soon as they are available for the fans. No doubt. We'll be getting that out there. I hope so. Look out, PWG. You haven't seen nothing yet.
Not good.
DVD sales up to wazoo. They're coming.
There's about 1,000 cameras there tonight, so it should be good.
Well, Cabana has it sorted. I think there's something like 12 cameras covering the whole thing.
Which is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely crazy.
I don't know where to look. I was just posing for every camera I could.
Don't worry, they got it.
Fantastic.
There was no photographer out there tonight. I'm waiting to do my old hey, and as I do a finger point here and motion over into the distance. Great visual there on this audio show.
I was excited.
I was looking for the photographer, but Chris was double booked tonight, so unfortunately he couldn't be here. But
you can't have everything.
You can't. That's right. Exactly. You know. So
we try.
I think it worked out to be a good show.
Very good.
And hopefully Australian Wrestling All Stars continues
better
into next year. So
I look forward
we'll see
to
how
that.
we go. We'll see how we go.
Yes. I'm hoping to get some more tag teams. Me and
yeah.
Although I think Coyote might not be available for next year, like you said. So
well, he's still he's still he's still adamant that he wants to pull the pin into 2017. So
this is the big storyline going into 2017. Will Coyote stick around?
Yes. Will I get booked as a singles wrestler? I hope so.
Will Maniac still be jacked as fuck?
I think he'll be more jacked.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting more jacked as the years go on.
Ridiculous, yeah.
The more non-wrestling projects that he
Wait
ends
till
up
I'm
doing
40
is like,
odd. I'll be fucking massive.
be as big as Paul. Not about that way, but I must say, Paul, you've bloody been on your own health mission yourself. You've lost a shit ton of weight. You don't look good, man. Not that you never look good. I'm just saying.
I was
really
terrible.
Bad. That sounded really bad, but yeah.
Oh, look, yeah, most definitely.
No,
It's
you're doing well.
big change. Trying to fix all those years of abuse.
I've been there. Don't worry. And now I've started abusing again, which means I need to pull in the reins. You go, come on, Josh. That's an extra X on that shirt. You need to.
It's a terrible thing, and it's not an easy thing. That's the. It
sucks how easy it is to fucking put it on.
Put it on, but to take it off, it takes forever.
That's the thing that mentally messes with you, is that like
you've got to get your mind in the right place.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, and I guess that's with anything in life, whether you want to be a professional wrestler or the best at what you want to be. If your mind's not there, you're going nowhere, and that's the whole thing. I mean, for years, from a kid, basically, I've always been big, and it's always been, you give it a try, and then too hard, too hard, but. But, finally the mind's in the right place, and, hey, we're getting there slowly.
Good times. Spaceman.
Yes.
Anything to add?
No. I don't know. I'm not You're putting me on the spot now. I like
That's all right.
Oh, while he's doing that, I'm going to throw in the quick one. The plug.
All right, you do that.
The plug. Now, I don't know. It's not going to get out in time probably for next Saturdays, is it?
This show will be out in a couple of days.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. Saturday night. Of course, it's the same night, so this doesn't help. But PWSA, we're doing our 10th annual War Games Cup at the PWSA Arena. We've got the big hardcore Royal Rumble. That's the thing. All for the War Games Cup. Of course, that just comes a bit of prestige. You know, it doesn't sort of really give you title shots or anything, but it puts you in that scene. So come down, check that out, of course. And
Right, City Wrestling on the same night. Key to the City at the Latvian Hall in Wavell, South Australia. You got KD Trey, Tyler Daniels, Green, Zach Sabbath, that's the other one. I knew I was going to forget the fourth one because it happened to me out there and I just remembered. Yes, there you go. Black Zaths.
Now you've stuffed it right up. But of course, if you can't get to ours, we're there every week.
Well, you are.
That's the one difference thing with PWSA / the old Snake Pit. We're there each and every week. We do 6-7 shows a month. So we do, in a month, half a year's of everyone else's shows. So it's crazy. And I mean, look, I had the chat with
the Gold Coast was close.
only if we were down the road from the Gold Coast, yes. But I mean, I had the chat with Adam Cabana Productions, and he even nearly nailed the head too. He said, you know, PWSA are nearly that breeding ground for South Australian wrestling. You look at the names you just rattled off for the RCW show.
There's a couple there, yeah. There's a couple there that have come through.
And will there be a women's title match?
That's right.
Right.
Women's champion is Misfortune.
As we're saying,
so they start at PWSA and then they move on to bigger and better things at Riot City Wrestling. You see, so that's I can totally understand where you're coming from, mate. I hear you. That's right. You're dropping the knowledge. I get it.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, we're there, and look, this is something we've always encouraged to all the other companies. We've never been afraid to acknowledge the other companies and say, be involved. You got guys that you're bringing up as rookies into this industry. You want to get them in the ring and have ring time.
Yep.
Give us a hoy. We'll put them in ring time.
Yep.
We'll get them ready for you.
Yep.
As simple as that.
Farm system. little snake farm, snake pit farm.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, Spaceman's done it a couple of times. Come down for Snake Pit, done a Friday night fights or a Saturday night show. And look, a lot of the interstate guys do that. They might even come on that Friday night fights because you got Sunday Slam as well on the same weekend. You can come to Adelaide and do 2 shows on that one weekend.
Yep.
So
I've done that. It's been great.
Spaceman, a fan of the format. Yeah. Let's get some final plugs in here because we're surely going to get kicked out of this building.
Oh, they're going to lock us in or something.
We probably are locked in.
I need to hit the city.
He's got to find the city.
He's got to find the city. Got to find the strippers. Got to find the girls. Got to find
key to the city.
The key to
I've got an 8 a.m. flight too, so time.
He's just going to party.
All right, let's get the final plugs out there, Spaceman.
Well, my Instagram and Facebook are the same handle. It's SPAC3MAN 87. Spells Spaceman 87.
Hey, trippy.
Yes, and that will be connect you up to my Facebook and my Instagram, and you should definitely check that out.
Cool. And the Bullet Kliq merchandise, of course, available at the shows and online at all, or just at the shows?
Yeah, we can take orders online if you contact us on the Facebook page, and cool. That's Bullet Kliq, which is BULLETKLIQ on Facebook.
That's how all the cool kids spell it, with a Q and a K.
Exactly.
That's right. Spaceman, thank you very much, and Giant Coyote, thank you. Who is he has left.
He's gone.
But we thank him. Paul Roberts, thank you very much for helping me host this little shindig here.
Thank you for having me as always.
My
Josh.
levels are all messed up here, so I hope it sounded okay, folks. If it didn't, hey, it's free.
Bad
what can
luck.
you do?
Just listen and enjoy.
We're going to have an off.
And hopefully now that the All-Stars is going into a quiet period, I'll still have some interaction with Josh if we're lucky.
Yes, maybe. Maybe I might come out to a PWSA show.
Hey.
Cause some havoc.
We could put it on the cards. Don't you worry about that.
Invade the commentary desk. We are going to take a little break ski, and then I'll be back to wrap it up here at Wrestle Radio Australia.
Here's where the action is.
Whether you're a fan or part of the industry, Wrestle Radio Australia is here for you with 4 packed shows. WRA with Todd Eastman and Josh Armour. Drawing Heat with Beej and the Dude. AxeCast with Josh the Axe Shooter. And Healing Out with Muhammad Ali Vaez.
My job is to get heat. My job is to make other guys. My job, hopefully, is to make people want to see other people beat me.
It's all free. Subscribe on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or hear us at WrestleRadioAustralia.com. Wrestle Radio Australia. It's where the action is. Great time backstage there at Australian Wrestling All-Stars, and that is it for AWA for 2016. But great time those shows were. Hopefully there'll be more in 2017. If you enjoyed this podcast, please do share it around with your wrestling buddies. And if you haven't already, subscribe on iTunes or TuneIn Radio. You can hear every episode there and get the latest shows instantly the second they go online. You can also find our archives via WrestleRadioAustralia.com. Twitter, you can find us at WrestleRadioAU, Facebook at WrestleRadioAustralia. Big thank you to Thunderstag for the theme music, Where the Action Is, FNX.network, Wrestle Merch Printing, don't forget that awesome end of year deal, all you wrestlers out there. And big thank you to Kyote and the Spaceman. And of course, thank you to you for listening to this show. I'm Josh Armour. We'll catch you next time on WRA. Keep an ear out for the new Drawing Heat with Beej and the Dude and AxeCast. Yeah.
Saints and sinners.